No, yesterday is a big day. I think not only like in our program, but really as we build the program. Yesterday was a day that'll lead to other great days. First, I want to recognize, Chris Ogden and Al Pinkins, who recruited here last year for us and got started on a couple of these guys. Mark Adams is on that staff and as well as recruiting right now. And then certainly Sip and Berg made a huge impact when they slid into the recruiting roles. So we think this has a chance to be, one of the best recruiting classes in school history. It felt really good about our other classes too. And the first one having, Zaire, who's already an NBA player, and Culver's heading that way. And I think this year's freshman, although we haven't had a chance to see Kayvon play yet, he's a special, talented, highly ranked guy. Kyler's making an impact, and Mbala. So this is the third class that we put on top of this to try to continue the program. And simply stated, I think these are four guys that are, Big 12 level players. They all played for winning high schools. And with Khalid winning junior college with Coach Fay at CSI, it's the first thing we always look for are winners, guys that have played for programs where they've been coached and played defense and can win. I think each guy brings a lot of talent to the table. All these guys have gotten a lot of national exposure, and I think they deserve it. So big day for our program. I want to thank all the staff, also the support guys that aren't actively recruiting on the road but do in-office recruiting and official visits. It's a real staff effort. But I think you got to recognize Coach Adams and Coach Berg and Sip and the work they did this fall. Any questions about the recruiting class?
Yeah, when y'all are out on the recruiting trail trying to get these types of guys, what's that kind of selling point that you bring to the table for them?
Well, it starts with our university. At Texas Tech's one of the premier academic institutions. It's a place where you can come get any degree. Our graduates get jobs. Our graduates make a lot of money. There's a Texas Tech family out there, but academically this is a big-time place. Whether after undergraduate, whether it be law school or medical school, but we really sell the academic piece of this. And these four guys are a great example. These guys have a chance to be NBA players. But certainly them and their families also understand the academic piece. Hopefully they'll fall back on that after great pro careers, but the academic piece is the first thing we sell. Second, we're in a Big 12 conference. In my opinion, it's the best conference in college basketball for multiple reasons. Don't have to look too far. Look, last year, half our leagues in the Sweet 16. 3 teams are in the Elite 8, 1 team in the Final 4. So players like these four guys want to play at the highest level. They want to play under the brightest lights. The Big 12 gives you the opportunity to do that. Obviously, our city, Lubbock, is one of the premier college towns in the country. We got the best of both worlds. We're a small kind of college town where Texas Tech's kind of the one-man show in terms of Division I athletics. A lot of respect for our friends at Lubbock Christian, too. But you also have the big city feel, major airport, every restaurant you can think of. It's a great college town. And I'd like to think that guys understand if they come here, all their dreams can come true. In our early stages of building the program, we've already got a first-round pick, other guys within NBA organization. So, we're selling a lot of things here. I think that we've got one of the best situations in all college basketball.
Matt Mooney just came in here and said he appreciated how transparent you were during his recruiting process. Why is that so important for you to do when you're recruiting these guys out of high school, and how do you see it kind of develop your relationship even further when they come in?
Well, I think it's a necessity. I mean, good players and with their families and support groups, whether it be their grassroots coaches, high school coaches, junior college coaches, mentors, everybody has kind of a family of network when they make decisions like choosing a school. People want to be told the truth. And the truth here is you'll have an opportunity to compete for playing time early in your career. Nothing will be given to you, but everything will be earned. You're going to play in the best league against the best competition. You're going to get a first-class education, and you're going to play in front of some of the best fans in college basketball. So I appreciate Matt saying that. It's one of our core values. I'm not smart enough to try to figure out ways to go around the truth. I'd much rather just kind of put it out there. This is what we're about. The great thing with these four guys is they just fit our DNA, and I talk about each of them. But, starting with Ramsey, this is a tough guy, and we're a tough program, and a guy like Ramsey wants to be coached. He's had great mentors in his life, starting with his father, Avery, and, He wants to play at the highest level, and he's willing to put in the work to do it every day. But it's a certain toughness with Ramsey that's going to be a big, big part of our team, and he'll be tough from day one. So obviously got a huge upside in the game. He's a guard at his size and just a guy that we think is going to fit in great. Mac's a born leader. It's great to have a Tech legacy here. His dad played football here, and his mother, Heather, graduated from Texas Tech, and that was really important to us. He's a guy that is a true point guard to me. He runs the team, he distributes, but he can score the ball if need be. He's deserving of his top 100 ranking. Just a good player. He's going to be a guy that plays the first day he's here. Especially excited with him having to come at semester. We get the extra semester to coach him, so that's going to be special. We identified in this class, since we're losing so much on the front line with Tariq and Nortz, and the other seniors, Brandon Francis playing some small forward position this year. We wanted to try to find the best junior college player in the country. We feel like we've done that. Khalid starts with the coaching he's getting with Coach Fay and those guys down there. CSI is a top program every year, so there's a lot of tradition there. Khalid's a guy that plays multiple positions. He's a guy that's got a great spirit to him, brings energy in the locker room. He's a positive guy. At 6'9", and athletic, he can play multiple positions and can really shoot the ball. So he's a guy that we think can come in here just like Naeem did as a junior college transfer, just like Deshaun Corprew is doing right now. I think he gives us instant production, having played at the junior college level for 2 years. And then Big Russ, we're excited. This guy could be kind of the sleeper in the class. He's somewhat of an unknown in our country, but has played a lot of basketball in Italy. No one respects international basketball more than we do. We've got, 4 different countries represented on our roster. I was very fortunate to have a coaching stint in Switzerland a couple summers ago. So anytime we can get a skilled player from Europe like Russ, we welcome it. He's been coached. He's played at a high level. And he's at Putnam City, a place where we really trust that guys get coached. We've had Mbala and Malik. Their coaching staff does a great job. Simply stated, it's one of the elite prep schools in all the country. Academically, guys are tested. They take real stuff. They come in prepared, ready to take undergraduate classes here, and the guys get coached there. Guys get better. And Mbala got better in his time there, and Malik certainly did as well. So all 4 guys, I think are talented guys that are all going to play early in their careers.
Outside of just talent, is that main thing you look for, that love of basketball that you talked about, that you always talk about?
Yeah, that's one of the things for sure. I think guys that love ball and guys that want to work, guys that want to get better, guys that want to be in the gym, guys that want to be coached hard, guys that want to play the highest level of competition, do well in our program. I've always said we're not easy. We're not easy to play for, but no one's easy to play for at this level that's winning. But these 4 guys share a love of the game. They're all in the gym all the time. They're basketball lifers. Even though they're young men, they've dedicated their lives in a lot of ways to basketball, whether it be playing all summer, playing year-round, working with skilled coaches in the off-season, pushing themselves, being leaders. So certainly at the top of the list of what we look for is love of the game. Obviously, there's a toughness to all 4 of these guys. The way they were raised, the way they're brought up, the current coaches they're playing for now. And so nothing trumps toughness, especially when you try to win in the Big 12 level. Then the skill to play in the motion offense, which basically translates to professional basketball. All these guys can do this. Big Russ has a nice shooting touch, can make free throws. We look for him to expand his game. All 3 perimeter players can play inside and out. So they really match the skill that we're looking for as well.
Hey, Coach, with Kevin coming in midterm, do you expect him to play this season, and when would he be eligible, if so?
Yeah, it'll kind of be a decision that we make going on. He's obviously still coming off his injury and rehabbing, but, don't close any doors. Everything's possible. So look for Mac to get here after he completes his high school graduation, join the team, certainly practice with us for a certain amount of time. And if at some point in that early stage of practicing we think he can help this year's team and we're all on the same page, I think it's a possibility. Would I predict that? I'm not sure. But I know he's a special player. It's not just about his talent. It's his character and it's his leadership. He's going to be special.
I know he has to get prepared. Well, I get asked my fans all the time. Technically, when would he be eligible? Do you know to play? Like, when's the earliest day?
Yeah, I think with the rules, he's eligible when he gets here because he can't come to Lubbock until he's completed all high school qualification. So kind of frequent in the world of football, but in basketball it's kind of uncharted. But It's a decision that he made that we supported, and look forward to having him here.
You mentioned him as a point guard, 6'6", obviously lengthy, versatile athlete. What else do you see from him in that role as a point guard? What makes him kind of a pure point guard in your opinion?
Yeah, he's just a really skilled player. I mean, he can score the ball if you need it. He's a great shooter, good vision, can use the pick and roll. It's great size. He's been coached. He's tough, loves the game. But he has that certain tangible to play the point guard because of the IQ and the vision. I see those same things in Ramsey too. I mean, this is a guy whose identity is always going to be his toughness and athleticism because it's elite. But not far behind is his skill level. He can shoot the three. He's a great passer. So I think Ramsey will play point guard minutes for us as well.
You mentioned Ramsey and his toughness. I noticed he broke his nose over the summer, but then played like 2 days later in a summer league game. Did you notice when that occurred, and did you take note of that?
Yeah, we were recruiting him all during that time, and obviously, kind of pulling for him in that. And the story there was he had to go back to, I believe, Dallas to do the doctors and all, and his AAU team was in Vegas, and most everybody thought that he should probably sit that tournament out because he had done all he needed to do in recruiting. He's a legitimate top 20 player and can go anywhere in the country. But again, some guys play the game because of what the game gives them. Some guys love the game. Ramsey loves the game. The summer wasn't about recruiting for him. It was about getting out there and competing, trying to win a championship in Vegas and get back with his AAU teammates. So just another indication of a guy that's tough and is a real unselfish team player.
The book on him is as a defensive stopper. Obviously, is that something you liked about Jemias?
Yeah, all four of these guys play defense. Again, Khalid at CSI, you have to play for Jared and those guys. He's athletic and can switch, guard different positions, and it could be an elite shot blocker with his length. Big Russ is just learning how to play basketball at this level, but it already had a lot of experience overseas. But he too, obviously with his size and athleticism, can do a lot of things defensively. Has a chance to be a rim protector, but also kind of the skill and quick feet to do things away from the basket. Mac is much more than just a talented offensive player. I mean, the guy guards, and a lot of that is, his high school coach was a really, really good coach. Enjoyed getting to know him in the process. And of course, his dad, Mac, got a chance to play for Coach a little bit. In the McCullough family, you got to play defense or you don't play. And Ramsey's a well-documented defensive player. So all these guys have that in their DNA.
Coach, you mentioned Putnam, obviously 3 guys in as many classes. Just your relationship with Putnam Science Academy, like you said, great program there, but just how that kind of developed.
It started off just with respect. There's a lot of programs out there that we respect and we try to recruit, and we were just fortunate to get Malik first. And then I think Malik has helped us recruit these other guys. And so, it's a program where you can go in and recruit guys. There's no politics there. Coach lets people come in and recruit, and all of his guys get coached. So, it's a great trend. I like where it's going. We've just been really fortunate. So, a lot of times your best recruiters are your players, and Malik is special. He's a guy that's got a great personality. He just kind of gets it, as do other guys in our locker room. But Malik is one of the best I've been around. We had a guy here, Tanner Ogden, Chris's brother, played here 5 years for Coach Knight, 4 in a redshirt year, and he's one of the best student hosts I've ever seen. Just like Tanner's one of those guys that just kind of people gravitate to. Got a great personality, whether you're from the East Coast, West Coast, Europe, or Seminole. Tanner can hang out with you, and Malik has some of those same qualities. And just did a lot on the official visits and just has real relationships with those guys, as he does with some of the guys we didn't get. Malik's one of those guys, you don't get everybody you want in recruiting, but Malik's one of those guys when the game's over and you're shaking hands, everybody kind of likes him.
Kind of switching gears, Coach, I know you talk about talent. USC is really talented, the next team you're going to be playing against. I guess, what have you seen from them? I know they played Stetson last night, had 4 guys, double figures.
Yeah, they got a good team. It appears to be an NCAA tournament type team. They're just getting their team back together. Different guys joining the team. It looks to be at full force by the time we play them on Monday night. So it starts with a really good coach, somebody I don't know personally but know through other people. Obviously, the success they had at Gulf Coast with the Dunk City and all that was special, and then he's doing a good job in the early days of building the program at USC. They've got NBA players on their roster, and he's a good coach. So they play really fast. Got to be one of the best up-tempo teams in college basketball, kind of a fast break type team. We'll have to play really, really well. we're going to be in a lot of games like this all year long. This is what the Big 12 is like every night. So it's a great early season test for us.
I was going to say, obviously you kind of do these things to kind of test you for the Big 12. I guess what are you kind of looking to see from your team just in terms of just the quick turnaround and kind of all those things?
Yeah, well, first just with the tournament in general, just the competition level. You know, a chance to play 2 BCS teams, possibly. Just really good teams, good coaches, good players. So kind of the next step in our schedule. Games like this are great from a coaching standpoint. You know, you hope you win them. That's the goal. But no matter what happens, you're going to learn a lot about your team. Because certainly right now we're just trying to get better. We got to get better. You know, we got to be better in December than we were in November. This is a great weekend. In terms of the back-to-back, I've always liked it because you get into these situations in the season. Obviously, Big 12 tournament, it's very possible you'll play back-to-backs. You don't ever want to go into anything with your team that you haven't experienced before. Just like I don't mind the Saturday Big Monday because that's how the NCAA tournament's set up with Thursday, Saturday, or Friday, Sunday. So this is a chance to kind of test our team and see how we do in a back-to-back situation.
No, yesterday they had the day off, but I guess for you all from a coaching staff perspective, what did you see from the film to where you can help these guys get a little bit better, especially after not necessarily a poor shooting performance, but one that you certainly didn't like?
Who had a day off yesterday?
Oh, well, Matt said y'all had the day off or something.
Oh, okay. I was making sure you didn't see Adams down getting his nails done or
Berg
at the golfing range.
No tennis. Tennis.
Tim getting some daily yoga in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no days off. NCAA makes you take a day off from team practice, but process continues. I hope Matt was in the gym yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll go ask him what this day off stuff is. No, we got to take the day off from team practice. So today we get back on the practice floor, kind of twofold. Need to clean some stuff up from our last game out against Southeast Louisiana, and then definitely need to start preparing for USC. I think with us, you know, obviously, we need to work on our shooting a little bit. Got a lot of good open shots.
Yeah.
The last game didn't make them, but that's part of basketball. Thought we did some good things. Rebounding is something we got to continue to get better at. And then with USC, just all sorts of challenges they present. But again, really looking forward to the competition to play against what I think is going to be an NCAA tournament team in Southern Cal.
You now getting Benny Boatwright back. What does he kind of add to that team?
Yeah, NBA player, one of the best players in college basketball. Was disappointed for them when he wasn't playing at the first year. I always like when the best players play. I've never been one of those guys that kind of, you know, claps when some guy gets hurt or something. I just see the game different. You know, like I just think the best players, all players should – I just hate that when guys are out for different reasons, whether it be, you know, injury or whether it be other things. So happy for him to be back on the floor in college basketball. The best players around the country are what make our game. And so he's just versatile, man, plays all sorts of different positions and can just do things all over the floor. Got some friends in that league. What's that called now? Pac-10? Pac-12? Huh? Pac-12. And everybody just raves about him, how talented he is.
When you first came into this program, are these the types of tournaments you wanted to get into or early season, being able to play USC, being able to play possibly Nebraska, Missouri State?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to – look, if you're ever going to win the fight, you got to be a part of the fight. And so, was that Seeger? No, you got to you know, you got to hang around the neighborhood you want to live in. You got to be in the scrap that you want to win one day. So we're always trying to upgrade our schedule. This year, obviously, we've upgraded it. We're playing a team called Duke in Madison Square Garden. I think half a sports center these days is on Duke. But certainly this tournament's special. Missouri State's got a really good team. Nebraska looks to me to be a Sweet 16 type team this year minimum. Just watched them a couple games just as a fan watching. And, of course, digging into USC now. Looks like they're an NCAA tournament team. So, yeah, we want to upgrade our schedule, you know, when we're doing that.
I know you focus most of your focus is on USC right now, but knowing that you have a former player – going to be in that same area as you with Josh on Missouri State. The opportunity to maybe possibly play him or just see him around, what is that kind of like?
Yeah, I hadn't thought much about that. Obviously pulling for Josh. Josh Webster did everything we asked of him here. Was a great team player, big part of our Elite Eight run. Players make decisions. I respect Josh's decision. He's a guy that wanted to play more minutes, saw an opportunity to play more there. Actually graduated from Texas Tech. Which is special. So we're pulling for Josh to have a great year this year. A lot of respect for the coaches there. And so, yeah, we hope he has a great season, whether we play him or not. You know, I would hope that we win our first game and they win their first game, but we'll see what happens.
And then when you focus on USC, are you kind of aware what those other two teams you could possibly play can do and what they're good at and what they aren't good at, or is kind of all your focus on USC?
Yeah, me personally, just one game at a time. All I'll look at is the next opponent, but we obviously have other coaches that have that scout, so they're preparing for those teams. And I basically just kind of start, immediately after the game.